What's up, everyone? This is your host from TFD, back again with some more breaking news. Hot off the wire. It looks like the Indiana Fever is shaking things up once more. That's right, the Fever have just added a fresh new face to their roster. Buckle up, because we gotta take a trip to Indy for this one. Let's get into it. Okay, I'll admit it. I'm coming at you guys a little late with this update, but this is definitely a headline nobody saw coming. Just recently, we did a video talking about how things were looking a little grim for Indiana this season, but clearly they are not ready to fold. In fact, they've just signed another player for the 2025 campaign. Let's pop over to X, where all the news drops first, and see what's up. And huge surprise alert. About an hour ago, Indiana Fever made it official. They signed Kyra Lambert to a 7-day contract. Welcome to Indy, Kyra. To get the full scoop on her, let's check out the team's website. And you all already know, I keep it real. I'm not the most familiar with every WNBA player. Honest truth. I didn't know who Kyra Lambert was before this news broke. But here's what we got. The Indiana Fever have added guard Kyra Lambert on a 7-day deal. They made the announcement not too long ago. This signing was possible because the Fever were granted a hardship exception after injuries to Sydney Colson and Aari McDonald. Now Lambert's pro experience? It's all been in Europe so far. Most recently, she was playing in Greece, where she actually helped her team win the Greek A1 league. In that run, she put up a strong 15 points per game, shooting an impressive 42% from deep. On top of that, she was named Europe's Guard of the Year. Not sure exactly if it was last year or the season before, but either way, that's no small feat. She's also played in France before that. So, we're talking about a player with serious overseas experience. Before she went pro, Lambert split her college hoops time between Duke and Texas. She'll be sporting the number 15 jersey for the Fever. So yes, Indy just brought in a European seasoned vet, and this is a big twist since they didn't have any European players on the squad before. Plus, Lambert did meet with the media earlier today and shared her thoughts. And guess what? We've got the footage. Let's check it out.
Officially Monday. Yeah, Monday, so it was a pretty quick turnaround.
Take me through the emotions of that day, knowing that this was coming your way and that you'd have a chance to play on a team that might need you to play right away.
Yeah, I was super excited. It's a blessing, having the journey that I've had and just, remaining faithful, trusting God and doing the work, and just to see it all come back around and have this opportunity is awesome.
What's this opportunity in the W mean, given all that you've worked to get to this point?
Yeah. I mean, it means everything, to, again, just remain faithful and trust the process. It speaks to resiliency, it speaks to faith, and I'm really excited to be here.
What's your familiarity, if anything, with this team, with Steph, with how they want to run things?
Yeah, I've been watching the W for years. It's the best basketball in the world, so I've been watching and I've been studying, and to be able to watch it and see it from a professional point of view has just helped the transition, and the girls and the organization have been great in welcoming me here, and just getting me up to speed quickly. So I'm really excited to join the team.
How does your game kind of fit in with their system and vice versa?
I think it fits in perfectly as far as just, running and gunning, getting the ball out quick, pressuring on defense, really bringing intensity and physicality.
So as you're recovering from the ACL injuries that you went through in college, is this the dream, the vision for you coming through that, or did that kind of seem far-fetched?
No, it never seemed far-fetched. I just, did the work. I trusted the process. Staying faithful and trusting that God's timing is perfect, and here we are.
Kelsey talked about culture and character with this team as they welcome all these new players in this season. Your first impressions on day one here, what that means, what that feels like.
This is a first-class organization. Everybody has been so welcoming, so nice, so kind, and just everybody is here helping each other. Just, the goal is to win. The goal is, to get another championship. So I'm really excited to be here, and I've definitely felt the love getting here, just two nights ago. So.
How do you take in all the information of new plays, new teammates, tendencies, all that in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, it's a part of the job. You study just like people study in school. You study the playbook, you watch film, you do your due diligence as far as, who you know, knowing your personnel. So, again, just doing the work.
Do you have any familiarity with players in the team now, your new teammates, or is this all everybody new?
It's pretty much new. I've played against a couple of the players on the team from years ago, but a lot of it's new.
They were back on the main court today, locking in and fine-tuning things ahead of tomorrow night's matchup. Friday evening, right here at home, against the Washington Mystics to close out this 3-game homestand. But before practice even got underway, the Fever made another roster move. And no shock here, it's at the point guard spot, the position where they've been hurting the most because of injuries. The latest addition? Kyra Lambert. She'll be rocking number 15, and before long, we could be seeing her make her WNBA debut. Lambert has spent her entire pro career overseas, most recently balling out in Greece. She started her college days at Duke before wrapping up at the University of Texas. And there's some interesting behind-the-scenes connections, too. Coach Stephanie White actually gave credit to Briann January, who seems to have contacts everywhere, including internationally, for helping identify Lambert as a player who could step in and help. Right now, let's be real, it's slim pickings. We're talking about players who aren't under contract with any of the 13 WNBA teams. You're digging into the free agent pool. First it was Aari McDonald, out for the season. Then Odyssey Sims. And now, Kyra Lambert joins the mix on a 7-day hardship contract, just in time for that game against Washington. This has basically been the Fever's season in a nutshell. Find a player, get her to Indy, and then hope she's a quick study. The idea is to get her into the system without disrupting the flow, maybe give you 5, 10, 15 minutes of solid play when needed. Because turnovers? That's been a problem. A lot of that comes down to being disorganized without a true floor general. Add in foul trouble and the risk of more injuries, and you can see why depth at point guard is so critical right now. So yeah, this move is all about stability and insurance. Now let's head inside and hear from Coach Stephanie White as she talks about Caitlin Clark's injury update and what this new addition brings to the team.
How have your girls just kind of handled everything so well in the past month in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is, I keep saying it, but they're a resilient group. They understand that there's been a lot of change, not just with our teams, but some of these teams that we're facing too. There's been a lot of change. It's the nature of our league. And they've been able to be flexible, and they've been able to go with it and really just do what they're asked to do, so to speak, but also understand that this time of year, nothing's going to be perfect, right? And whether that's injury related, whether that's adjustment related, whether that's player personnel related, and they just want to play, they just want to compete, and so they've been really, really flexible in that way as well.
Bring new players in, be it going back to Aari, Chloe, and now Kyra.
Yeah.
Do you have sort of a template of what you give them on day one, or do you kind of have to figure out what you need and just make those on the fly?
Yeah, I think with some of them, we have an idea of the things that we'll run when they're on the floor and the things that we won't. With some of them, we're trying to figure out, right? Like we've seen Odyssey in this league, and we know what she does. Kyra's a little bit more unfamiliar, so trying to figure out the best positions to put her in. Bibby as well. I mean, we had primarily played Bibby at the 4. Now she had to play a little bit of the wing, when we didn't have numbers on the wing. So it's really trying to figure out what positions we can put them in that's best for success.
What's going on, especially with the front office? I mean, whatever it takes to go find these players because they're available.
Yeah.
And it's a film study. Is it calling other coaching connections? What is
all the above? Right. It's all the above. It's seeing film, watching clips, talking to contacts and connections. Bree and especially has been super helpful in this. She's got a lot of contacts overseas who have seen Kyra, for example, play a lot overseas. Teammates that she's had that are over there that played with her, against her. Same thing with Odyssey. All 3 of our assistant coaches coached her in AU, so they have some familiarity with her. So it really is all hands on deck and trying to get the best person possible to fit the need at the time.
Had Kyra been on your radar previously? Like, had she been a name that came up earlier in this process?
No.
Yeah. So now that you've seen her play a little bit, and I think having started a little bit, what is it about her that makes her the right fit?
Well, I think number one, her preparation. From the initial phone call that Amber and Kelly had to, our conversations. She's been watching the team. She's studying what we're doing, studying how we've played opponents on both ends, what we've done to attack, what we've done on the defensive end. Reminds me a little bit of Aari when she came in and really already kind of had some of the playbook down. Her ability to get downhill. She's got some speed and quickness as well. So all of those things are what we need and what we miss without having Aari and sit on the floor.
An idea of what you want rotation look like in a game? You have no point guard, always moving a different position.
much more you just made that noise.
Yeah.
How much more challenging or different is that now? You have to feel it out or even prepping for it.
It's really challenging because you want to keep players as much as possible in their natural position, so that they're able to do what they do best. And oftentimes, particularly when you've got to put players in some uncomfortable positions, whether that be ball handling, now taking Sophie off the ball and putting her on the ball, whether that be Bibby, a certain matchup that might be good for her at the 4, and a different kind of matchup with faster, longer guards at the 3 is not always advantageous. And so it does create some challenges with rotation and also floor spacing. I mean, the ability to space the floor when you have a downhill driver like Aari that you're missing, and she creates rotation because of that. We have to find other ways to create rotation, and that's difficult when it's kind of a hodgepodge.
Is it harder to take longer to identify when something is or isn't working when that is the case?
I think at times, sometimes it's harder, but sometimes it's not harder. You just don't have the numbers to be able to do anything about it. It's just how do we manipulate our spacing or positioning at that point.
At the end of the day, this group's success in the second half of the season hasn't come from perfect lineups or flawless execution. It's come from adaptability, preparation, and an unshakable will to compete. Whether it's adjusting to new teammates on the fly, finding creative ways to cover for injuries, or trusting each other through constant change, they've shown they can meet any challenge head-on. It's not always pretty, and it's rarely easy, but that's the nature of the league. And as long as they keep bringing that same resilience, flexibility, and team-first mindset, they'll give themselves a chance to win every single night.